Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk, where we come together on a Tuesday evening and to discuss relevant topics that are applicable to all of us, so that we can find workable solutions, so that we can also have more action and less talk. Now, Jason is not here tonight, but I do have my able co-host,
Mr. DiCarlo Sweeting.
Mr. DeCarlos Tweeting, and I'm of course Cheryl, as they used to having me. And tonight we have a very, very interesting topic for you. Preparing for the one, preparing for Mrs. Right or Mr. Right. So DeCarlo and I will be sharing with you, we'll be having a conversation, and we want you to get in on the conversation by calling us at 352-8255 or liking, subscribing, or even sending us a message and be in on the conversation. Preparing for Mr. Right, preparing for Mr. Right. Who better to talk about that, Mrs. Right and Mr. Right themselves? And so DeCarlo will be talking, he'll be starting the conversation about what women need to do to prepare for Mr. Right. And I will be addressing the aspect where what men need to do to prepare for Mrs. Right. So I don't know if DeCarlo, you want to get the conversation going?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Gentlemen, we all know what we like when we go out in the world and we see a woman we would like to court. And the first thing I'm going to tell the women that first thing we see is your face, your body, your whole presentation. So if you are looking for Mr. Right, the man of your dream, the man who you want to be your Mr. Right, first thing you have to do is look presentable. You have to have the look that he wants. Now, this differs for every man. So I don't want nobody to feel as if, hey, oh, well, I look like this. I'm 6 foot and nobody's gonna like a tall woman. Trust me, men like tall women. Hey, I'm 300 pounds. Oh, no one's gonna like a woman who's 300 pounds. Trust me. There are some guys who are 110 pounds who love 300-pound women. But you have to be presentable. So when I say presentable, meaning that at all times, try to look your best.
At all times.
That stuff which y'all like to do, go out with that bonnet on your head, forget that. Forget it. The only place you should go with that bonnet on your head is to bed. That is it. There's
Wash house,
no
food
reason.
store. No?
Why? That's a good question. Why do y'all go out with that on your head?
Well, I must agree with you. I'm not even going to even joke about that, because that is just very, very unattractive. I've never done it. None of my friends do it, as a matter of fact. So definitely the bonnet thing, I'm totally against that. So I'm going to agree with you on that one. But when you say presentable, I mean, we all know what presentable is. Presentable is relative, but surely you can be presentable and not all decked out. Going to the food store, going to the wash house, there are many different places that we go. You're clean and presentable. Is that the presentable you're talking about, or are you talking about makeup to the max and hair flowing and all of that at all times?
Trust me, you cannot oversell. There's not one day we are gonna see you in your natural light. There's no way you can do that every day of your life. You're gonna wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, put on this full face of makeup, and when I wake up, I'm gonna see this beautiful face. Ooh, she's gorgeous. Ooh. No, trust me, the more natural you are, the more the man would be attracted to you. So although y'all think looking like Beyonce 24/7 is a thing, no, the majority of men, I'm not saying all, the majority of men do not like that. We like you in your natural light, your natural way of how God make you. So for those who think, oh, he only like light-skinned girls. No, believe it or not. So you ain't got to bleach and all that to get his attention. If you are presentable, you carry yourself in a way that he likes. And sometimes, guess what? If he don't like it, then guess what? He ain't the one for you.
That's right. Not your Mr. Right.
As a woman, you can't pick your Mr. Right. Your Mr. Right will come to you, and you will know who he is when he comes to you. But you got to be ready, and you got to be presentable. That's my number one. Sharon,
Right.
what's your number one?
My number one, looking for Mrs. Right. Mr. Right, you need to know God. And because you're going to be my leader, you're going to be the leader of Mrs. Right. You're going to lead that family, you're going to lead that home, you're going to lead that woman. So you must be led by God. You must know your purpose. What is your purpose for being here? What is your purpose as a man? What is your purpose for existing? What is your purpose for your family? So in order for you to come looking, when you come looking for Mrs. Right, you must know the supreme being who created you and be led and have a relationship with him and be led by him, because life is tough enough without God. So we need a man who knows God, and we want to follow a man who's following God. And so that's our number one. That's number one for you. Come looking for Mrs. Right. That's what you need to come with. That's our number one.
That's your number one.
That's our number one. But it's, you know what? I'm going to say that's the first thing. Yes, I'm going to stick with that. That's our number one. The rest, I will say, will be in no apparent order, but that one is number one.
Explain this to me now. And I'm taking it from the common sense point of view.
Okay.
How in God's green earth, you in the food store, you checking out the melons, or this one, this over right, this one again. You look up and you see, who's that? How are you gonna know he has God in his life? How are you gonna say, hey, that look like Mr. Right, boy, but I know he's good at church.
You got to know in conversation. You may not even know in the first month or the first 2 months, because a lot of other things have to happen now. He can't just know God. That can't be the only thing. And we're going to go through, I have a number of things that he needs to know. And trust me, I will take my time and point them out to DeCarlo and all the other men out there looking for Mrs. Right. But you're not going to know right off the top. Of course, a man, the physical is most important. That's why DeCarlo may have said that first. But for women, the physical is not the most important. There are so many other characteristics and values that are important to that man being the Mr. Right for the right woman. Sure. Now, I'm not going to say for any woman. I wouldn't say, you have some women who really don't care, but we're talking about Mrs. Right.
You trying to tell me?
Yes.
You see this fine fella across the hall picking up apples in the food store.
Well, usually the fine ones don't do that. They have someone who do it for them, but continue.
Picking up apples for himself. Going to the cashier. You are going to do what? How are you going to make sure or let him know Cheryl exists?
I usually don't, but we're not talking about me.
Well, okay. How?
He has to find me. Well, I believe, I don't, of course, I've done my part in being there, presenting myself, and I believe that it is up to the man to find me. Now, I know many people have different perspectives on that, and I think for women, sometimes we're a little impatient, we're a little fast, so to speak, and we want to be the ones to approach a guy. I don't think women should be approaching. The man is supposed to find you. Yes, you can start a conversation, and sometimes the conversation could be about something else. Could you hand me that bag of apples? If you want to be seen, if you want him to know you're there, but it shouldn't be a conversation about anything else, because I will move into talking about other things, about friendship. He must be able to want to form a friendship with you, and in the friendship, you're going to learn all those other important things that you need to know if he's going to be your Mr. Right. But what's your second thing? Because I don't need you dwelling on my first, trying to downplay my first one. So knowing God, that's the first thing we want, Mr. Right.
Okay. Second thing for men. Education. You must be educated. Now, when I say educated, I don't want you to automatically think University of the Bahamas, University of Miami, and these other schools. Being educated means that you know who you are, what you are doing with your life, where you want your life to go, and where this man, this Mr. Right, fits in your life. Because A lot of the problems which y'all have is y'all want a fella come there,
Mhm.
and the fella got to go all the way.
Mm.
Fella got to tell you what to eat, how to dress, where to sleep, how to this, how to that. Why? Why? You are a grown adult. First thing y'all like to say, oh, you ain't my daddy. Oh, you can't tell me what to do. Oh, all these things. Right. We are looking for a mature adult woman who knows what
Decisive,
they want.
yeah.
And that makes it easier for us to see if we are compatible.
That's true.
Because I don't know so much girls, they date a Rasta, nah, they're the Empress. They go date a Jehovah Witness, nah, they're Jehovah Witness.
Mhm.
Anything with the man who they think they like, that's what they are. And it don't work like that. It never has, and it never will. All that you mean is at the end, I can sit down and say, ooh, you a phony, you ain't for real.
Chameleon, yes.
You ain't for real. But you can say, we joking, the man joking.
Mhm.
The man come to you as Jehovah Witness. Now you know you was an into Jehovah Witness, you know you ain't into knocking on doors.
Mhm.
Leave that.
Yes.
I don't
That's
care how
true,
good he
yes.
look. I don't care what job he got. I don't care how much money he got.
That's true.
Leave that. Because that ain't for you, because you ain't gonna knock on no doors. Saturday is their time to go to the beauty salon. You ain't out there hot.
I
Hot.
agree.
So
Mhm.
my second point, you got to be educated.
Okay.
Know who you are, where you're going, and everything else.
So you see now, women, I hope you're listening, because a lot of times we compromise ourselves for the man. We change, and just like you pointed out, we change who we are to satisfy the man, or we're thinking that we're satisfying him, or we're thinking that we're getting him to love us anymore because we are compromising our beliefs, our standards, our values, and everything for the man. And I think it's similar to when women jump in bed so quickly because we feel like we want to please the man, and he used that same one decision to know that you are not the right person.
Oh, hold on.
But anyway,
but jumping in bed.
moving on. I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
So my number 2, though, is he must be able to provide for his family. It's like I said, maybe not in any particular order. I do have some other very important items on my list, but he should be able to provide for his family. I don't think a man who cannot provide for his family should not be out there looking for a wife, period. You need to go and find a way to provide for yourself first before you even try to go and find a wife. So if he doesn't have a job, he's not Mr. Right. He's definitely wrong. All right. There are some, of course, there are extenuating circumstances. People could be in between jobs. Things could have happened. All of this you will find out in a conversation, in a very long conversation that you will have, because you will ask the right questions. And I think a lot of times too, women, we don't ask the tough questions because we're afraid of how we're going to be seen. And I think sometimes we just don't want to know, because there's so many other things that we're in love with that we don't ask the tough questions. And so we need to ask the tough questions. So he must know God, and he must be able to provide for a family, or he's wrong.
Wrong.
Not Mr. Right.
He's not Mr. Right.
And he should not be coming looking for Mrs. Right either.
So what if you make all kind of money and you see? I don't like what you said, because that's
okay.
That ain't all about a man. That ain't all about.
Please
Provisions can be handled and can be in many different ways. Providing can be in many different ways.
Please help me understand.
But you don't understand. If I
paying the bills, let's just put it bluntly, you can't pay the bills, then how on earth, how else are you going to provide emotionally?
Okay.
What?
See, this is where the mix-up is coming.
And let's, it's very, very important that you call us at 352-8255, so that it's not just me and DeCarla going at it. I want to hear from my female friends. He wants to hear from the males. We want to hear from all of you people who've been married for years, who found Mr. Right and you knew exactly what you were looking for. People who found Mrs. Right and you knew exactly what you were looking for. You please feel free to be in on the conversation.
So if you find this man who y'all are so compatible with,
yeah,
but he is not monetarily the best provider. But there are many things that he can provide for you that assist in your life day in, day out. Example, the car breakdown. You ain't got to care to no mechanic. You ain't got to do it. He handle that.
Right.
The roof leaking. You ain't got to call the carpenter. You ain't got to call the roofer. He going up there. He ain't going to do that. The stove ain't working. You ain't got to worry about that. He can handle this. He can handle that. Everything is well taken care of.
Does he have a job?
He has a job, but you
Okay.
are the primary financier in this relationship.
At all times?
Yeah.
Well, see, you said the key word, compatibility. If there's a woman who finds that she's compatible with that situation, then that's fine. Because there's no one size fits all. It all comes out in a conversation. There may be another female who may say, okay, that may not work for me because it'll be hard for me to respect a man in that situation.
Why?
If I'm just giving you a scenario. If I am making more than him, I am just saying. But once he has a job, and together you're both able to provide. Because if you can't provide, then resentment will build up because you're depending on this man to provide and he's not doing so. But all of this should come out in a conversation before any serious decision is made. And then you decide if you're both compatible and then you work it out. But I don't think it's a deal breaker if you're making more than him. But if he's not working at all, definitely a deal breaker. He needs to work. So I hope you don't have any scenario whatsoever, Dakala, that includes where a man doesn't have a job.
I would not give you that scenario.
Please.
That's not an option. I agree.
Okay.
With you.
Right.
But we have to go take a commercial break. Remember, subscribe, like, call when we get back, 352-8255. What do you feel, or who do you feel, what qualities you take for your Mr. or Mrs. Right? We'll be right.
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is? They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything. You know how expensive bus is? Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off. You know how strong mosquitoes is? Or you could go to the box office downtown at the Genesis Street Gale. You ain't scared of Joneses, eh?
Your time to
Yes, and we're back. So Cheryl was saying she thinks that the man should be a provider straight through, which I can agree, but there's more than one way to provide. And we went through that. And we know that a man can provide in many other ways. But like he said, we want y'all to call in, call a friend, tell them, come on, watch this at Superior Talk Bahamas YouTube channel. You can call in at 352-TALK, 352-8255. Now, the next thing, you gotta know how to cook and clean. You gotta be domestic. I'm sorry. I know you always say these days they're gone. I don't do them things no more. I work hard. I don't have time for this and time for that. But the things that I brought up before, the man knows how to fix your car. The man knows how to fix the roof. The man knows how to fix the fridge. He's hands-on. We like to see our women like that too. We like to see our woman who could clean, or who could go in the kitchen, fry it up in a pan, smack it up, flip it. Here, this tastes good.
I agree. Yes, I agree. But
For y'all who out there who trying to go to the restaurant and buy everything every night, it ain't gonna work. There's one old woman out there who could cook good. Listen to me. She could cook good. Every time she see you with one brown paper bag, she can tell you, my son, you ain't tired of that. That get your cholesterol high. Come, let me fix this plate for you. And then y'all gonna wonder. But the boy, when you see the man together, he grow up with his mom cooking, Grammy to cook. Every Sunday you won't go by Grammy to get food. No, man. Oh, come on, man. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all do better than that. Come on. Y'all want this perfect man.
yes,
And no such thing is it. But my God, the traditional Bahamian meal is peas and rice and whatever. You got to know how to cook peas and rice. For God's sake, everything holy. If you know Jesus, you got to know how to cook peas and rice. Some fire into
Well, that's
it.
a high standard. We can leave it as cook, because there might be a guy who will be fine with you not knowing how to cook peas and rice, but you can make the white rice or mashed potatoes or
What
something
thing-
else.
What man
But-
you know?
But just like if we have to compromise on him not having a bigger salary than us, then why can't he compromise on what we are allowed to cook?
No,
But I must,
no,
you know what?
No,
I'm
no,
going to agree. I'm
no.
going to agree with you. to
No,
come.
you're trying
We
to be
should-
slick. You gotta throw rock and run. Don't try that. If y'all could compromise, and I heard that word, that he cannot provide. One thing I said, that he provides in many other ways. If I meet
She
you,
provides the food in many other ways.
if I meet you making $10,000 a month, we met out, we connect, we talking, we having a good time. I know God, I tell you, going to church in the morning.
Mhm.
I invite you. That's our first date. Let's go to church.
Red flag.
Let's go to church.
Okay.
I tell you that.
Mhm.
We find out now you make $10,000 a day. Everything that you need, then you gotta go call this one. You even gotta call her.
Oh dear. I get
I
the point.
agree.
Yes, and I am agreeing with you that yes, Mrs. Wright, you need to know how to cook.
Okay then.
Yes.
All right. We
You
can't.
need to know. You don't have to drop down, smack down, do all of what he's
Yes,
saying, but
yes, you do.
you
Yes,
need to know.
yes,
You need to know how to cook. Now, my number 3 is a man. You come looking for Mrs. Right. You need to know yourself. You must know yourself. A lot of men don't know themselves, and they learn themselves. And of course, you will learn a lot of things as you grow with someone. But know yourself enough. Know what you want. Know what you like. Know what you dislike. And know what you don't want. Know what you're looking for in a partner. Know who you are. And a part of knowing yourself is loving yourself, because people who don't love themselves cannot love someone else. And not only that, more importantly, they don't know how to let someone else love them. So you need to know yourself and love yourself. And don't come trying to learn yourself most of what about you that's important when you're already committed to somebody else. So come knowing that. Come and a lot of times we don't spend time with ourselves. We're not honest with ourselves. We don't search ourselves, ask ourselves some tough questions, and do some introspection so that we can learn who we are before we go and attach ourselves to other people. So come knowing yourself. Know what ticks you off. Know when you're in your masculine energy and when you're not, so you don't come and frustrate someone's daughter. Okay, guys? So number 3, know yourself, love yourself before you come looking for Mrs. Right.
What a man come in your masculine? What else can he come in?
You know, we operate in depending on different situations, and some situations require different things from us. There are some times when we have men who are a little more emotional than others, and there are times when a man needs to be out of that rough masculine energy and be into a different energy where he can relate to his female. So, and I'm sure you would have had this experience. Maybe you didn't call it quite this, but there are times when you have to take off your rough man hat and be sensitive and be calm and give a hug and be reassuring, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So sometimes we look at that as maybe a more of a female energy. There are times when females have to take on more masculine energy when decisions need to be made or things need to happen. But that's a different topic for a different time. So back to my number 3, because I think the Carl is trying to take me off track. So where our number 3 is, he needs to know who he is. He needs to know how he reacts to different situations. And of course, there are things he will learn about himself, like I said, But he needs to know how he reacts in different situations so he can be true to himself.
Okay, fine.
Mhm.
Whatever she says.
Yeah.
Now,
What's
my
what's
fourth point. And
third?
third,
Oh,
fourth,
Oh, okay.
femininity.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know what's going on this day and time,
I know this was coming.
but y'all women have lost it. Y'all have thrown it away. Y'all have pushed it in the garbage,
Mhm.
and y'all don't want to see it no more. I'm sorry. I am not fighting with a woman on who is wearing the pants.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen. The minute I see you got more masculine energy than me, we can have a problem. All right?
Mhm.
When I first see you, I want to see you in your nice little dress. All right? I want to see you in your nice little hairdo. Yes, that's what I want to see. I want to see you in your high heels. I want to see you looking like a lady. That's what we want. I want to carry you home to my mom. I can't carry you home to my mom. You all rough and tough and all the time.
She could be dressed like that and still act to the part.
But that is not in your femininity.
Yes, I agree.
Once you dress the part, it's something like when you put on a dress. Right? My little girl, when she put on the dress, first thing she like twirl around.
Mhm.
She like to feel pretty.
Yes.
When a woman is feeling pretty, there's no way she could be. Listen, there's no way. There's no way. So put away your penis. Come to us as a lady.
Yes.
Allow me to be the masculine one here.
Mhm.
Allow me to make some decisions. I ain't say all gonna be right, but I want you to. It ain't gonna be a fight. It ain't gonna be a fight. The minute you start that door, I can start looking at, and I can start getting an inch closer and closer. But I can fight you on it
Yeah.
because I can't win. I can't win. See,
That's
if
true.
you was in your masculine energy and you was a man and you come at me like that, we can throw blows. But I can't do that because you're a lady. But you're a woman. But you in your masculine energy. So
I agree.
femininity,
Mhm.
it is key. It is vital. And if y'all don't know what femininity is,
Mhm.
I'm sure wherever y'all work, there's a lady, there's always one feminine who's always dressed up, who's always nice, who's always put together, who always act like a
So
lady.
you can't be wearing a pants and be feminine?
No,
Really?
no, no.
I'm sure no one agrees with that.
That's
You
yours.
can be wearing a pants and
No.
be feminine.
No,
Femininity, that's an attitude.
no. Femininity is not an
It's
attitude.
how you it's an act, but you
No.
can be wearing a pants and still be feminine. And you know, I don't want to make any excuses. I do agree with you, DeCarlo, that yes, women, you need to be feminine, especially if you're looking for Mr. Right, because Mr. Right wants you to be feminine. So you want Mr. Right, you have to be feminine. But I just wanted to point out though is that society is also responsible. I was on the side of the road the other day with my hood up. Clearly, something was wrong with my car. And many men passed and no one stopped.
You know why?
So why was that?
Because
Clearly, I didn't look like I knew what I was doing. But you want women to be feminine, but when you're put in a position to be a man, she's supposed to be masculine because I had to go and try to go in the hood and try to figure out, okay, what's going on. I have to take on a masculine role because no man had stopped by to say, okay, how can I help?
because chivalry is dead and women killed it. For the mere fact, and I can tell you all this right now, for the mere fact, y'all talking this, all the ladies who independent, throw your hands up at me. Y'all always talking that foolishness. You can't be independent. And then y'all got this slick thing with y'all got these fellas in the friend zone. Y'all always got this friend who could fix this, a friend who there for for to pick up the snacks, a friend who can buy the drinks. Y'all always got these friends.
I don't see what that has to do with the fact that men are not allowing women to be feminine, because women have to take on so many masculine roles. There are a lot of masculine roles that women, even women who are married, have to take on masculine roles.
Why? How? What masculine role?
Exactly.
What masculine
Why?
role?
Why? But we will come back to that.
See,
So that is your
no,
number. That is your number four.
no. You think you slick
I've
again?
seen
You can't
women
rock and
who are
run.
married who have to go take the car to get it fixed, who have to lift big 5-gallon water bottles.
Why?
I've seen women who have to do that.
Why?
I don't know why. I am just
Why?
saying that it's what I've seen.
What was my number two was you got to know who you are. If you're a woman who don't lift this and who don't lift that, then don't do it.
No, my point though is,
Hey.
even that masculine, what I find though is that men want to have their cake and eat it too. Physically, literally, figuratively, in every which way. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want you to be feminine when they want you to be feminine, and they want you to be masculine when they want you to be masculine. That's just hypocrisy. But we're not talking about that right now. Colin and I have a great conversation. He's listening to me. I'm listening to him. So we're going to continue. So that was your number four. Let's give you my number four. My number four is heal from your past hurts and pain and bad relationship, from your baby mama drama, from all of that. Heal from it. Heal from it. Take some time away. Don't jump from one relationship to the other. If you're looking for Mrs. Right, heal from your past relationship. Sit down with yourself. Take responsibility for what happened, because there's no way on earth that one person is responsible for the death of a relationship. It takes two to form it, so it takes two to end it. So we need the man, because I'm talking about man now. We need you men to heal from your past relationships before you come blaming the female, and come looking and try to get into someone else's lives when you have not corrected a lot of those mistakes. If your past, your ex, and your present or your prospective cannot be in one room together, and there is no issue, then something is wrong. So you need to heal from your past relationship. That's very, very, very important. And that's why conversation is so important, because at the beginning, you should be able to talk about that. That's one of the first questions you should ask. When was your last relationship? How long did it last? How did it end? You should not be afraid. A lot of women, we don't ask these questions, because we're afraid of the answers. But we should ask these questions. How did it end? What did you do? So that's my number four.
I have the perfect number five. When we come back, we're going to take a commercial break. Subscribe, like, please call in 352-8255, 352-TALK. We'll be right back.
I'm Flynn Daxon from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager, and he's going to tell us a little about what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got this at Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
Go ahead.
Yes, we're back. We're talking about preparing yourself for Mrs. Right, preparing yourself for Mr. Right. And I know I just finished sharing what my number four was, healing from your past relationship. And so now Mr. Sweeting here is going to share. I don't know if he has a rebuttal or he has something to say about my number four, that come looking for Mrs. Right. You must heal from your past relationship before you get into this relationship with this good, wonderful woman.
Okay, women, package deal. Now, it's rare to find out here today a single lady with no kids, no children. Okay, and there's nothing wrong if a lady has children,
Mhm.
and you have to understand within yourself, men, if you can handle that. But ladies, this for you.
Okay.
Package deal. Let's say you have two children, a boy and a girl. As I get into this relationship, you raise your children a certain way.
Mhm.
You want your children to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Mhm.
As a man, I might have a different way of raising children.
Mhm. Okay.
Now, when a man takes on the role of providing for another person's child,
Mhm.
he has to have some type of say. We are coming to find out that there are a lot of ladies who don't want nobody to say nothing to their child.
Mm.
And it gets so bad these days that even in the schools, you can't say nothing to nobody child.
Yeah.
You can't discipline them. You discipline them, oh, I can tell my mommy, I can tell my dad. Oh, this or that. I come in the relationship, I won't be with you.
Mhm.
First thing you tell me, oh, I love my children, be a package deal, you take me, you take them. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if you got your package deal, guess what? I got mine too. I am the leader in this house. There are certain ways I will provide.
Mhm.
There are certain ways I will discipline. And that's across the board. Now, if you don't like this, and that's why a lot of y'all single, because y'all got some more children out there. And the minute the man walks in, he see how rude the children is. You can sit up there, oh, he just playing. No, he ain't playing. That's how rude and stinking and disgusting these children are.
Mhm.
But you want a man to come in there and straighten up that mess. You really want him to come in there. He got to fix you. Because y'all never come fix. He got to fix you.
Wait, what?
I said it. He got to fix you. And I hope that that was one of my first things when you say, you got to have yourself together. You got to know
Yeah.
what you want, how you want, then you.
I agree.
Now, these children out of control. I don't know, that's your little punky. What are you doing? I know little Ray Ray. She disgusted. She fresh. You need to have a talk with her. But you don't want nobody saying nothing to your children.
Mhm.
How is Mr. Right gonna walk in that situation, seeing things wrong,
Mhm.
and when he try to correct it, we got a problem.
Well, I agree. I agree. I know of situations that are like that. And that is hypocrisy on our part, because if you, first of all, you come as a package, that is not an ideal situation for a man, but you're looking for Mr. Right. And any woman who's looking for Mr. Right, I must agree with you. If you come with a child, you must definitely be on the same wavelength as the man. He should be able to discipline your child. And this has to be a conversation where you discuss how you discipline. You must have the same parenting values, because nobody wants their child abused. But it's kind of it's a tough decision to make, to have someone else discipline your child. But if you want to be a part of a relationship and you say you're looking for Mr. Right, then that's the given. Because any man who walks into your life with a child, I agree, must have some say. It's unfair to have him ask him to provide for that child, to love that child as his own, but yet he's not allowed to discipline the child. Then you're not ready, man. And it's as simple as that. She's not ready for that.
Do you know how difficult it is for a man to come into a situation?
Mhm.
I providing a roof over your head.
Yes.
Your children was going to public school. I put them in private school.
Mhm.
Your children was wearing bottom shoes. Now they're wearing class. I step up the whole game.
Mhm. Yes.
And when I tell little Johnny, he can't do this.
Mhm.
He can look at me and tell me, you ain't my daddy. You can't tell me nothing.
Mhm.
Now, I expect that of little Johnny. I know Johnny rude. I know that. But when I go at Johnny, you tell me, hey, where you going? Big
Yeah.
man, where you going? No, 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 no.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I can deal with that. And you know I use deal with that? Johnny,
Up to
don't
him.
do that no more.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh, we have a caller. He can look at me and tell, where's my daddy? Okay. Hello? Hello, can you turn down the YouTube station? Go ahead, you're live. Let's talk.
Hello.
Hello?
Are you there?
Caller, are you there?
I think we lost them.
Okay, we lost that caller. You can call back.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's hard for a man to walk in. I pay it
Mhm.
all, so you give me all the responsibility.
Yes.
I'm responsible for you.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for little baby. I'm responsible for little Johnny, and I have to take care of all of this.
And you can discipline. That's
And
true.
I can't straighten this out.
Mhm.
I can't bend this tree.
Right. But what's important though is that a lot of times these things don't come about until after you're already committed in the relationship. I think we have the call coming in again. Hello, you're live. Go ahead.
Good day.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, so I love the conversation you all have been right now. Just to piggyback on what you were saying about the guy coming into a ready-made family. That's a very hard thing to do. I know that it's not for today, but just add this little piece in. If the guy comes in, let's say they get married, he has all the responsibilities and hardly none of the benefits.
Mhm.
Or he doesn't have the permission to
Mhm.
go in and discipline.
Mhm.
The mother is overprotective because she doesn't agree. Now, this is like you said, Cheryl, this should have been a conversation they had before they get married.
Yes.
But yes, they now at this point. Now, let's say what happens. This man decides to give his full 100%, just give it reading.
Mhm.
And for some reason, the marriage dissolves. That means this man now with nothing because he already invested all his time, all his love in his family, and the woman can actually just pick up and go with a child.
Yes.
And
That's hard.
how every single fella now supposed, I understand why some guys kind of apprehensive about taking on that ready-made family because
Yes.
that's something they have no recourse
It's
because
a
if she
gamble.
decides to end the marriage,
Yes.
she can walk away with half his stuff and her children, and he can't get nothing.
Yes.
I'll pay child support.
Still got to pay down the support, right? So
That is-
now back for this Mr. and Mrs. Wright thing. We got, I don't know if y'all covered like on the show late, but plenty of people are saying they're good, you know. And a lot of women believe that they're good.
Yes. Because a lot of women are.
Good to who?
Well, and that's adjacent. As a man, the man has to know what he's looking for. And I'm pointing out things that women are looking for in Mr. Right. Now, the man has to know, and you guys are fully responsible for what you're looking for. So you go ahead and choose Mrs. Wrong, and then you try to make her right. And when it doesn't work, then you blame all women for your mistake. So men,
Oh, we can pay them one moment. Because
No.
there's no something to be fucked with that this pocket, and because I didn't buy her what is it? What she said in her plan, she telling me she's a good woman. What I complaining about? I said, good to who? You come to me. Let's say you want your car clean.
Mhm,
The first thing they can do an excellent job.
mhm.
You tell them exactly your line, everything that you want done, but they only clean the tires. I mean, they did an excellent job on the tires.
Mhm.
But the whole rest of the car all bum up. But now they're looking inside their face. I did a good job.
Yes, but
I did a good job on the tires. But what the rest of the car, that is what I want.
I
And
understood.
then, and if you go on the man job, the man hire you to do a certain job, right? He hire you in a certain department.
Yes.
You good at I don't know. You good at speaking. They
Right.
ain't hire you to be a speaker. He hire you to work with your hands. But you go in another department and encouraging everybody, and you
Yes.
motivating everybody, and you're killing it, man.
Yes.
You're motivating them.
Yes.
The man ain't hire you for that, but you go into the boss and say, Mama, you doing a good job. I promote me. I'm doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But good to who? That ain't what you want. So you can't go to a man and say, I'm a good woman. You gotta fight. That man, you choose that man, you gotta be good for what he wants.
But let me,
You gotta go to who wants you.
yeah, I have my feelings about that. But back to the car analogy. Then you go back next week to give the person another chance to see if they're going to actually clean the car instead. Instead, you pack your things and go to a different car wash because clearly this person does not know. See, you can give second chances, However, there's some things you don't compromise with second chances on. Some things are too important to give people second chances on. And I'm saying, sadly, guys do that a lot. If the package is beautiful, they will compromise on the gift inside. And that's a lesson you all learn the hard way all the time, and you'll continue to learn because you continue to make the same mistakes.
So sure, that's all right. That's the car analogy. I told you to say, hold on, you will be clean the tires. Oh, yeah, I do a good job, and you try to send me just on those tires.
Yes.
No. I want the whole car clean. No,
Right.
but the tires good. What you
Yes.
complaining about? I want the tires.
Exactly.
And you said, the guy over this pretty boxes, but women do the same thing, They see that they're giving off red flags, but guess what? He got that couple of dollars in his pocket.
Yes, I agree.
So he's a
We
handsome
do.
looking fella.
We
He's
do.
A lot of girls want him, so guess what? They were cutting loose because, other women want it. So all of us do that compromise.
Yes, we do. We do. You're right. We do.
We're just blaming it on the man.
But I'm blaming it on the men because that men do it, I think, a lot more than women. That's not just one. That's just one point. I really thought I got rid of Jason tonight. Jason, how you get on this phone? Thank you for calling. All right. Okay.
Okay, thank you, caller. But you got a point.
Yeah, he does have a point, and we all do compromise a lot, and I think too for many different reasons. Sometimes you have people in relationships, you see them in relationships for years, and it's not working, and you wonder why are these people still together? People on the outside could clearly see that it's not working, but people are in there for whatever reasons, and you don't know, but you just have to. I mean, what can you do? It's not your experience. Okay, so that was your number 4, or
No, we got go into my last one. I don't know how much more you have, but we're gonna go with a commercial break, and we're gonna come right back.
all right.
Most Bahamians know people who live in these shanty towns. Like you said, either the babysitter, the hairdresser, the carpenter, the plumber, the sweetheart.
No, not the sweetheart. Oh, Lord. not the sweetheart.
Everything, right? There's one-stop shop.
What's going on? Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. starting February 28th on the Superior Talk Bahamas YouTube channel.
Okay, we're back.
All right, we're back. Now, my next one is, if you come looking for Mrs. Right, you should be able to take your time. And time, this will dictate or indicate what a man is really into. His speed, how fast he wants to go as it relates to some things, how slow he wants to go as it relates to other things. But he should be able to want to befriend you. He should want to know you. He should want to talk to you. He should ask you. Now, I read it somewhere and I really believe it. If a man doesn't ask you, what are your goals, or where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? It simply means he doesn't plan to be there the next 5 years. So people who want to be in your future will ask about your future. All right. So he should want to have this conversation, get to know you, take the time to know you, take the time to know things about you, what you like, what you dislike, and take the time, allow you to know him. Okay, what do you have to say about that, Mr. Sweeting? Yes, you have to.
OOLISHN.
Oh, okay.
Yes. What
So-
are you talking about?
If if you're looking for Mr. You don't want to get to know her, you don't want to become friends with her first. That's how you know if somebody's serious about you. They want to become friends with you. No?
You really think that's how men take
Well,
to
a
get to
guy
know you?
who's serious about you will definitely want to be your friend. And I don't want when I say friendship,
You will never be my friend.
why not? Please explain. Give me this from a man's perspective, because clearly I'm off.
Way off. First
All
of all, your friend who you have.
Mhm.
Give me a name of your friend. Yeah, any friend, any good friend you have. You can make up a name.
Okay, Sandra.
Sandra.
Mhm.
Sandra is your friend. You are saying that when I come into your life, me and Sandra will be your friends.
No.
Exactly.
I'm saying, of course, you're gonna always have girlfriends. That's on a different level.
No,
But I'm talking about
exactly.
learning and growing together, learning each other's habits and learning
And
whether
that-
you're compatible or not.
And that has nothing to do with being friends.
Really?
That
Well, you can call
absolutely
it, all right, call it whatever you
That
want.
has not. See, you all like to use this,
Call
this,
it-
this
call it
friend word. You all
whatever-
have
Whatever the
belittled
caller wants to
this.
call it, but
You all have retarded this song, this title friend so bad.
oh, I think he
It-
just
it-
has a problem with the word friendship. But let me just say that you come looking for Mrs. Right, you must respect the process then, and respect the fact that there will be a process. Is that okay for you? Is that word process better for you than friends?
Yeah,
Clearly,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Then you understand what I'm saying.
that's much.
So
better.
yeah, so you're gonna have to learn together, grow together, and a lot of these things that we're talking about with the child not wanting to discipline, these are things that will come out because you must ask these questions, have conversations. How do you feel? Of course, we know that you can't learn everything, and some things are only going to come out in practice. But talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. And Jason and you always say men don't like to talk, men, whatever. You come looking for Mrs. Right, you're gonna have to learn to talk. You're gonna have, and a man will talk. He'll talk to who he wants to talk to. Okay, and you see them in the bar when it's about sports. They just go and yapping on and on forever. So they talk about what they want to talk about, and they talk to who they want to talk about. So let him talk to you. If he doesn't want to talk to you, then he is all wrong. All right. So I'll get.
Okay.
And we're still taking phone calls. So 352-8255, or send us a message on the YouTube.
Listen, men talk, and this is my final point.
Okay.
Men talk, and we talk because when we talk straight with one another.
Mm-hmm.
We be honest with one another. We don't beat around the bush with one another. So, ladies, you want Mr. Right? I can tell you this right now. Stop lying. Okay? I can tell you this right now. Stop lying. Where you are is a small place, and the minute I go out with you, somebody can tell me something. Now, where you was and where you are, two different things.
Very good. Yeah.
But I still need to know certain things. I still need to know if you're allergic to nuts, if you're allergic to chicken, to lobster, to shell food. You have to be honest because it will come out.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with a lot of ladies, and I'm sorry to say this, y'all just lie.
Lie about what?
But everything. Y'all cannot be honest about anything because y'all get too offensive about everything that y'all do. Just what y'all do. Ain't nobody else do it. Y'all do not take accountability for nothing that has happened in the past. I could ask a lady a question. The last relationship you had, what would your boyfriend say was your biggest problem? You, not in him. What fault in you? And you know what the woman never could say? I cannot.
Really? Well, clearly that's someone you don't want to be with because that person's definitely
But-
not honest with
But
themselves.
that's my point.
I agree.
they will do these things.
Yes.
And the older you are, if you get between the ages of 35 and up, a lot of your book been almost written. You getting down to the conclusion right up and down.
Oh,
'Cause
dear.
a lot of things been
I don't
written.
know how to take that.
The juicy part of that, on the tail end of that, and you now trying to clear up some things. You trying to get closer to Jesus. Jesus is your good friend right
Oh,
now.
Lord.
You trying to get to know him.
Mhm.
And there ain't nothing wrong with having a testimony. That's good. That's good. Men do not run from who they are. And half the time, you all know who they are. You all know.
Well, because we hear it on the streets.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes you ain't gonna run from it.
So honesty then.
Honestly, can y'all be honest? Can
Mhm.
y'all say, hey, between 21 and 25, I had a little whole phase. I had that there, you know.
Not sure if that's supposed to be a part of the conversation.
What?
But
See,
if you
my
don't care about the
point.
past, then why is that coming up?
It doesn't matter if you care
The-
about the past. Don't see, and this.
But
this what
I
you're
agree
trying
with
to be.
honesty
You're
part.
trying to be slick again.
Mhm.
Because if I went to jail for child molestation 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
That's a crime. That's different from how many sex partners the woman had. That's not a crime.
to a woman, that's a crime. To a man, how much chicken you got? That's a crime too.
Okay, well, it's all about compatibility, growing and learning together, like I said in the last one. And when you have these conversations, if this becomes a part of the conversation and both of you have to deal with it, this is something I know some guys aren't interested in that. Others are. Some women aren't interested in some things and some are. So that's why as you learn and grow and have conversations, you find out what's important to the other person. But like you said, I do agree. Honesty is important. And what I find though is that women, a lot of us get to get away with some things because men don't ask some questions. Some questions are not asked and the information is not provided because they're not asked the questions. Now we would ask the guy all kinds of questions because we don't mind talking, but a guy may not come out and ask certain things.
You know why you don't ask?
I don't know why. Don't
Because
you
we
ask?
know y'all gonna lie.
I don't think that's the reason.
We know y'all gonna lie.
I sincerely don't think that's the reason.
You know that's the reason.
No, that's not. That is.
I gave you an example. Why your last boyfriend, your last husband, your last whatever, if he had to say what was wrong with Cheryl, can Cheryl say
Of course,
what was wrong
clearly,
with
I
her?
can say that.
Cheryl can say what was
I
wrong
can.
with her.
Yes, I can say that.
And Cheryl working on that.
Yes, I can say that.
You can say that.
Yes, I can say that, but I can't speak for other people. But if you find that you are talking, you're starting a conversation with someone and they have never done anything wrong in the relationship, in their past relationship, they don't have any faults in there, then you just end the conversation right there and move on because that's a dishonest person. And this is somebody who's not going to take responsibility for a relationship going forward.
But this is why y'all wouldn't have no man then.
I resent that. But
Y'all ain't
we're
got-
talking about but we're talking about somebody who's looking for Mrs. Right and somebody who's looking for Mr. Right. And I think we have touched on some very important points. I know I have. And if you come looking for Mrs. Right, I really want to say that a man, you need to know God. You need to be able to provide. You need to know yourself. You need to love yourself. Like I said, you need to be able to want to follow the process. You want to learn with her. You want to grow with her. You want to find out your compatibilities, your strengths and your weaknesses together. You want to be a part of the process and respect her boundaries as well. Okay. And I know, DeCarlo, you may want to, I think I missed maybe two of mine, but you want to run down, since we're coming to a close, you want to run down your points so that all those women out there looking for Mr. Right can be mindful of them.
Presentable femininity
Yes.
without lies. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect
Well
woman.
said.
Perfect woman.
Well said.
And I don't want y'all to think that telling the truth can hurt your chances of being with Mr. Right. You know, it's not.
Yes.
He can look at you and say, okay, now I know, let me make this decision.
Yes.
But then you lie.
Mhm.
You lie. But that's our show for the day.
Yes.
Cheryl, I'd like to thank you and Jason, for allowing me to sit in this chair. I know the people are shocked and surprised that Jason isn't here, but he'll be here at your next show. I will not be here, so therefore, hey, wait to
And-
see Jason again.
Yes, and I'm sure he'll probably want to continue, maybe have a part 2 to this, taken from a different perspective. Who knows? But it was great to have you all with us. Have a wonderful night.
All right, y'all have a great evening, and we'll see you again on Let's Talk.